For PCP, a dialogue is a structured conversation guided by communication agreements, which has as its purpose increasing understanding and respect among people who profoundly differ. A dialogue, especially in the beginning, is a very structured conversation that reduces threat and increases a sense of safety by helping people prepare to participate in a conversation, by creating communication agreements, by creating a tightly structured process of engagement. These things come together to give people opportunities for reflection and the sense that there will be boundaries in the conversation, which increase people's willingness to speak openly because they have less fear that they will be attacked if they do. One of the challenges of being involved in a conflicted and polarized conversation or series of conversations is it's easy to feel carried along and your feelings are pushed along by the momentum of the rhythm of communication. In order to break out of that, people need a sense of empowerment, and by that we mean a sense of choice and control over how they're going to engage their conflict. In the dialogue process, we try to help people feel empowered in several ways. First, by working with people in advance to create their own dialogue process, which leads to a sense of ownership and control over the process that they're going to be involved in. Next, the pass rule. We feel very strongly about giving people the opportunity in any communication to say, pass, I don't want to respond to that, which then gives them the control over how they're going to respond or whether they're going to respond to a communication in the moment. When this sense of ownership, control, and choice of response come together, people feel empowered. The first step in engaging higher brain function is reflection, taking the time to look at what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and making choices about how we want to respond. We encourage that in several ways. First, in the preparatory phase, by talking with people in advance, asking them questions that encourage them to reflect and to begin to think about the choices that they want to make about how they are going to respond in a dialogue. The process is carried further in the dialogue structure, where we create specific times and places for people to pause and reflect and be clear about what's going on for them and how they want to respond. This comes together in a process that the brain researcher Dan Siegel calls mind sight. That is the ability to know what's going on for yourself, in your thinking and feeling, and to be able to have a sense of what may be going on for the other person. The more mind sight there is in a communication, the less demonization, the less polarization, the less destructive conflict, and the more connection. So in many ways in the dialogue process, we build in reflection to encourage mind sight and constructive communication. The components of dialogue come together to create an atmosphere where people feel safe enough to share. When there's more sharing, it's more likely that people will feel understood. And when people feel understood, they're more willing to listen to the perspective of another and to try to understand them. When the mutual understanding is in the room, communication patterns can shift, leading to the shift in relationships.